Another epic moment. Also, we get to see Jingle All the Way animation again. Yes. Arnold Filzenegger. Right? How do you say? How do you say? Brunelzenegger? Right? Very nice.
And she is no closer to graduating. Until she graduates, it will be hard for her to get a job that makes more money than she gets now. This is called capitalism, and it's a bitch. No one likes it, but no one has come up with anything that works any better. Renee always has to call off work or skip class to give you attention. She does this because she loves you. Love makes people do irrational and reckless things. This is one of them. That does not make it a good idea. You are wrecking Renee's life. It is wrong to do so, even if you have her permission. A few other choice lines read, "You have no money because you keep spending it on things you want. Anything you want is not automatically a magical item. There may be potential magic in everything, but then there's magic in things you don't bother to look at. Things you can have for free."
So what she's saying is that the brainwashing is so extreme. What Jen says, I want this item because it's a magical item, but everything she always wants is cost something. Buy this, get that has value, monetary value. What she's saying is, literally, Jen never liked anything that was free. And she's saying she never saw the value of anything in life that wasn't something that had monetary value. She was a very, very possessive, what's the word? A person that only cares about physical things and things you own. I can't even remember the word for it right now, but okay. That makes sense. I get that.
Is a magical item, that doesn't mean you must own it. It would be nice if you could, but you can't always do so. I had money because I rarely bought anything for myself. Whenever I got some money, I would save it. I am not a money generator, and neither are my parents. If you want to have money, you need to not spend it.
Or earn it. Right? It seems in this equation, everyone that stays at this house is paying for everything for this woman, and she's not earning any money. Right?
I now do not have money because I spent it on you. Poof. All gone. You still wanted more, but I didn't have any more to give you. I have been using crystals since I was 10 years old. You are wrong when you start with that "you won't use them properly" shit, because I have been using crystals since elementary school.
Alright, now that's just spiritualistic stuff. Some people believe that if you actually have a crystal, that there are certain crystals that possess some kind of energy or magical power. There's even people who try to pass it as pseudoscience and claim that having crystals on your body or proximity to your body can increase blood flow and stuff like that. I've heard all kinds of shit around crystals over the years, and it sounds like they're definitely in that community of people who believe that kind of stuff. So that's what they're referencing here, I believe.
You taught me no magic. The only thing I actually learned from you was to beware of people like you.
Oh, that's true. Bruzy just says it makes sense for Final Fantasy LARPers to believe in crystals. Of course, crystals are a core element of Final Fantasy lore, that there's elemental crystals that have magical powers, and they can either power the planet, or people can use them for certain good or bad purposes. That does absolutely make sense. Thank you, Bruzy, for actually saying that. I forgot it was the Final Fantasy house. I thought it was just a nut house, so I wasn't even thinking in terms of Final Fantasy crystals. You see? Okay.
But among these accounts, there was one that stood out from the others, and if it's to be believed, it showed just how far the manipulation of Jen's entourage could go.
Oh god, another story.
In November of 2005, the LiveJournal writer entered email correspondence with a woman who went by Mela. Mela had apparently known and bonded with Jen in a Utah boarding school, and rediscovered her online through an open letter. Though the quote in the email isn't quite the same, it's highly likely that the letter Mela discovered was the list written by Candy Wrapper. Hoping to reconnect, Mela asked the author of the letter for Jen's information, and sometime after, she visited Jen's residence for 2 weeks. Here, she claims Jen was able to convince her to spend $2,000 on various objects and food by asking only for small amounts at a time. Sometime afterward, likely in 2005,
Now wait a minute. Someone just did a super chat that said DSP is Aerith from Final Fantasy House. Now hold on a second here. You can't blow up my spot. Alright? Okay, now obviously it's a joke.
Mela made the decision to begin living with them. Quote, I moved in with $17,000 in my bank account, and soon Jen had drained all of that on necessities, all for the house, many of which went into Jen's room and never came out. Soon, I received a check from the investment company for $80,000, and Jen's spending began again in earnest. I tried to get her to stop spending money on frivolous things, but every time I said no or told her she should spend her own money buying things for herself, she threw a fit.
So what? Well, I just don't understand this. I really am struggling to understand this story. Why are people doing what she tells them to do? Right? Why? Oh, so I decided to visit for 2 weeks and move in, and I spent $17,000. Why? What are you talking about? Why did you do that? I don't get it. I really don't understand it. Why? What was was there actually like fucking gas in the air? Mind control gas? Why would you move in and immediately start spending money on them? I don't understand it. I could understand if it was like, okay, it's you and a couple people you know. We're gonna go get an apartment together, okay? So all of us signed the lease together, 3 tenants. We all agree to, okay, we're gonna throw in a certain amount of money for the rent. You're responsible for this, you're responsible for this, you're responsible for this, right? That's how it kind of works. Like, I had a room, once I had an apartment. I shared it with 2 roommates. 2 roommates, hold on. I forgot that I could do this. I was sharing an apartment with 2 roommates who were co-workers of mine. We all worked at the same mortgage company, okay? And right up front, we said, if we're going to look for a place, we got to agree it's going to be 3 bedrooms. This is what we want in the place, right? And it's going to be shared rent, and we're going to have all these, you're going to do this responsibility, you're going to do this responsibility. Did all up front. When we moved in, all right, everyone did their part. And there actually was a situation where one of us lost their job. It wasn't me. It was one of the roommates lost their job. And luckily, they had saved up enough money to still pay the rent. They really couldn't pay for anything else, but they stayed to their agreement. They paid the rent. My other roommate was terrified that this guy was basically going to stop paying the rent, and we were all going to get fucked. But he didn't. He kept paying his rent and everything. And even then, after living there for about, it was about a year? It was a 1-year lease, that's right. We did it for a year. I decided I wasn't going to live there anymore because I had switched jobs and really couldn't afford it. The guy who had lost his job moved away back home with his parents, and the other roommate went and got an apartment with other people who had lived in our apartment complex who we were friendly with. So it was kind of like, well, broke apart or whatever. So you see what I'm saying? Like, that's how this works. What is this situation? Oh, I have a place. Come stay with me. But as soon as you show up, like, you pay money, pay for this, pay for that, pay for this, pay for that. After the first day, aren't you like, wait a minute. I didn't show up to be your ATM. What is going on here? Like, I'm here. We're supposed to have shared responsibility, shared everything. I'm not going to keep giving you money, and you're not going to, what is it? But just look at this. $17,000 spent, which was drained quickly, and now it says there was an investment company check, and she wants, like, what is going on? Why are you spending all this money? I'm lost. Seriously, like, to me, it seems like people have no willpower. They moved in and just do whatever we're told. Like, this is crazy to me that you would do that, because this is your life. This isn't like you're fucking around. $17,000 is a significant amount of money. $80,000 is life-changing for a lot of people, and you're just pissing it away on someone because they asked you to, I'm very confused at the situation. I don't know if we'll get any elaboration, but to me, this is, like, very confusing. By the way, I got a $2 tip from Derby Day talking about the Kentucky Derby. I have no idea why. I don't care. But thanks for the tip, I guess. I'm not going to read that giant paragraph you typed about the Kentucky Derby. Okay. Alrighty then. Let's continue.
All this time, she was telling me how important I was to her special plan, how the world needed us to stick together so we could conquer evil, etc. I wanted desperately to feel special. I was scared and alone, and I believed her.
Oh my God.
She knew a few magic tricks, was very good at reading people, and could give relatively accurate tarot readings. I fell for her lies, hook, line, and sinker.
Alright, I gotta switch back. Thank you, guys. I accidentally didn't switch back. So now, that actually just answered everything, right? That actually makes sense. So these are people who basically have a situation where, like I said, I wanted to desperately feel special. I was scared and alone. People who already have issues, they don't feel good about themselves, they maybe hate themselves, or, they just have really major problems with lack of self-confidence or whatever. They're moving into a situation where here's someone who's saying you're special. You're part of something special. We believe that we're actually characters from a video game. And we're doing something special here. We're spiritualists. And look, we have power in our crystals. So yeah, it's a cult. It's 100% this is a cult. Right? That's absolutely what this situation was. And people just kept falling for it over and over. A cult situation. Damn, that sucks. And that's really, really bad. Brandon Cole says, you clearly don't understand what happens in an abusive cases. I was actually made to feel small by my family for years, and I believed it. That's terrible, man. Like, seriously, I feel so bad when I hear stories like this. Obviously, okay, now here's an interesting question. All right? We're only halfway through, by the way, halfway through the video. Do you guys think that this Jen person actually knew it was all bullshit and was doing this to essentially run a small cult and get away with it? Because when you hear these situations about cults, you know, you think about what was the one in Texas? Was it Heaven's Gate or whatever? You always question the people who are running these things. Do they believe their own bullshit, right? Or are they doing it literally to control a group of people and get what they want? Did Jen really think that she was a fucking Final Fantasy character and that she had power crystals and her tarot card readings were spiritual readings into another dimension? You know what I'm saying? Or was she actually just manipulating everyone around her to get fucking free shit constantly? And then when one situation failed, oh, that apartment was full of squalor. Oh, we're moving out. We'll go to another one, start over, right? It was just like an endless cycle of pulling new people in, making them believe bullshit because they basically had insecurities or, you know, things that were going on. Basically preying upon their own weakness in a way. And to get what she wants. Suck the money out of them. Suck everything out of them. You know what I mean? And then discard them after. Or, in this case, it's not clear because obviously there's a lot of people who've been involved in this situation. It wasn't just like 3 or 4 people. You're getting all these people now who are going to start posting up and giving their testimonials. How did these people leave? Because it seems like a lot of them, they purposely left because they couldn't take it anymore. But would she have kept them in the group even if they could not pay for stuff anymore? Because it really feels like this is a situation where it's all about the money. You got someone who has a job, someone who's going to make the, you know, basically make the bread for everyone in the house, right? If they were no longer away to get money, right? Then would they be kicked out? This is interesting. Well, I'm curious to hear the next part of this story, you know. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys for, by the way, thank you guys for the very impromptu stream. I knew we weren't going to get a ton of people tonight because it's impromptu and it's also something that has really nothing to do with me. But we got a good amount of people on the stream tonight. Over 100 likes already. Thank you guys for that. And thank you to those who have supported the stream tonight, even though it was a weird impromptu stream. I appreciate that. If you are watching this on demand on YouTube, remember, if you like this kind of content, give the video a like, leave comments on what you think, and now you can actually support this content with super thanks as well if you would like to, okay? All right, let's continue.
Unquote. After she moved in, it was clear that Hojo's relationship with Jen had deteriorated, and she had been supplanted by a new person named Angel, who Mela claimed was remarkably violent. Jen was now sleeping exclusively with Angel, though sometimes...